What's up, Everyday Blades? We have got an older knife here today, old Benchmade, but a really good one. This is the Benchmade Mini Loco. They also made the regular Loco, which is massive. This is a regular size knife to almost, some people would call this an oversized knife, but the Loco, the big one, is huge. This one is the 818. The Loco is the 808. This is the old Benchmade boxes. Some of you newer collectors haven't seen these old boxes. They were thin, flimsy, and wasn't much to them. The newer boxes are a lot nicer. This one I bought on the secondary, so I had two. Actually traded for it, and it came with two Benchmade microfiber pouches. So, the first time I saw this knife, I saw the original Loco, the big one. I found it in an old pawn shop. And for some reason, I've searched in my videos. I thought I reviewed it, but I guess I didn't, unfortunately. I actually wish I still had it. I wish I wouldn't have sold it. This is a great knife. This one's actually a first production run. It's a S30V. The action is just as good as Benchmade gets. I mean, it's fidgety, big old thick blade stock. Look at that blade stock. Crazy. They don't hardly do that anymore. And look at those back spacers. That's different, isn't it? Just give it some style, and it's got some contouring in the G10. Give it some good ergonomics. It's got a thumb hole opening, which is my favorite. Just roll that thing right out. This is a great knife. This knife was almost ahead of its time. It's still got the razor sharp factory edge on it. I can tell by the way the lines are in it that this is a factory edge on here. It's never been sharpened, and it is hair popping sharp. S30V blade steel. It's got a deep carry pocket clip on it, but it still reveals a little bit out of the pocket, which of course that doesn't matter to me. If you put a standard clip on here, it would stick pretty far up out of the pocket, and that wouldn't bother me either. It doesn't bother me for my knife to stick out of my pocket. It's easier to grab as far as I'm concerned. The liners have some circles milled out of them. You might be able to see from there, but still got a little bit of weight to it. Nothing to bother you. If you had slacks on and nothing else in your pants, and this is just all you were carrying, you probably would notice it. If you're wearing jeans and you got keys and other stuff in your other pocket, you wouldn't notice this knife. It's not what I would call heavy. Let's check the weight on it. 4.4 ounces. So this knife was, the last reviews on it were like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So I'm assuming it's been discontinued for a couple of years. This has just been in someone's safe. Well, we're gonna prove that by checking how good Benchmade used to sharpen knives back in 2017. Because I can look at that edge. I looked at it through a loop. It hasn't been used. $140. That's phenomenal for a production knife. Phenomenal. 100 is double edge razor blade sharp. 200 is razor blade sharp. So 140 is a phenomenal score. Let's check some dimensions on it. Blade length is 3 1/4. Let me guess, handle scales are 4 1/4. Yep. Man, that is a standard measurement for a lot of knives. The action feels so good. It's running on phosphorus bronze washers. They didn't hardly anyone did bearings back in 2017. Probably only customs. But man, I missed that action with those. In some ways, you get a better feeling action with the phosphorus bronze washer if you build the knife correctly. Look at that. I mean, it's like it's on bearings, but it's just got a smoothness to it that is different than bearings. It's just got a great feel to it, and Benchmade does a fantastic job with their phosphorus bronze washers. Let me grab a couple of comparison knives. I'll keep moving stuff around and forget where I put it. Oh, goodness. Well. There. Fixing to say, man, I lost my rats. There we go. There's a rat one. Try to line it up to the end. There's and here's the rat two. It's right in between them, but that, man, the regular Loco will dwarf both of these knives. That knife is huge. I wish I wouldn't have let it go. I haven't seen another one since. I mean, you don't see these knives for sale. People that got them keep them, or they've been discontinued so long. Most of them are, worn out and thrown in a drawer. But these were great knives. Benchmade was killing it back then. First production run, let's see what it says. 242 of 1,000. Very cool. Well, that's it, guys. This is the Benchmade 818 Mini Loco. Long discontinued. Thanks for watching. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. It really helps us out. Doesn't cost you a thing. Good night.